destiny? Oh, me? Oh my God, that's lovely. So you believe your destiny is written in stone and this is what my fate is going to be like? How many of you? Be very honest with me. Good. How many of you believe in, I don't believe in any destiny. I believe in free will. What I want, I will create for myself. Okay. So how many of you believe in nothing? I don't know how this world works. This is a very confusing world. Okay. I'll give you my theory. Destiny and free will, both of it exists. When you and I are born, our entire destiny is already pre-written. Like in our fate, it's just pre-written. The only shift or the only, the drift in this is we don't have one single destiny. We have a million possible destinies of what is possible for us. At this point, so for example, let's say you take your horoscope and go to a Jyotish. I'll give you my example and it's crazy. Okay, so before I got married, I think the same year before I got married, in the previous company that I used to work with, there was this one astrologer who would come, was pretty famous, and that guy looked at everything and he said, "You're not going to get married until you're 40. I'm already a depressed person because I've had 4 failed relationships. And I'm like, okay, this is nothing new. What else do you have to say? He said, even if you get married, you'll get married to somebody as a second wife. I said, this is even pathetic. I said, fine. I came out and I didn't have any other choice but to believe him because everybody were raving about him. And I thought, okay, maybe 40 or second wife, okay, we'll settle for that. From the time that the guy came, in less than 6 months, I got married. And I was 31 when I got married. And not to as a second wife, but first wife. And that is when I actually started asking myself, you know what, this is something I've really not shared outside. My grandmother was a second wife to my grandfather. My mother was a second wife to my father. Probably that would have been a part of my destiny. What he actually saw was true. But was there another possible destiny that I could switch just by letting go of my old trauma and working on myself? Even if your astrologer looks at your horoscope and says your life is doomed, just understand, of course it is doomed, but that is one timeline. But in this point of time in my life, if I change my mindset, if I change my beliefs, if I let go of my trauma, if I work on myself, I can move into a completely different timeline that may not make sense even to my astrologer. Our astrologers predict, the good ones I'm talking about, they predict the most probable timeline depending on your stars, depending on what belief systems that you might probably inherit. But we have something called the free will to jump whichever timeline that you want to jump. So always remember that.
So which means if I don't do anything, I don't do anything in life, I just keep sitting, then the most probable
Whatever your timeline is right now, you will just
that's
walk the
destiny.
time. That's all. That becomes your destiny. That is already your destiny. So you're not creating a new destiny. You're just jumping into a destiny where you're a millionaire. You're jumping into a destiny where you're employing thousands of other women. So all those possibilities exist in the now. Depending on which frequency you're operating from, you're either going to go in the same frequency destiny or you're going to keep jumping timelines. And there is no limit to that. There's absolutely no limit to that.
So then how can you jump the timelines? By decision making, by choice.
Today, what and who you choose to be today is the determinator. So now all destinies have a frequency. And what is your frequency made of? Your frequency is a combination of your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings, your unprocessed and stuck trauma in your body. When you work on all of this simultaneously, and action being the most important thing, when you act like the person who already has it, you're constantly rewiring all the other 4 parts simultaneously. So right now when you take the action from the vision, it's possible for me. There is no way that the universe is going to make any mistake. My success is inevitable. See, this is something Harvey knows about me, but a lot of you don't know about me because you see my videos on social media. You think I'm such an active person. I'm a very ambitious but a lazy person. I like things being very effortless. So I always figure out things to take it to the point of being effortless. So start building beliefs for yourself. So many of my beliefs are built based on the effortlessness. Build beliefs for yourself. Making money is such an easy thing. Money flows into my life like how a river flows towards an ocean. So your belief is not the truth, but your belief is your truth. So making money is easy. When I say this, some of you might get triggered internally. Gayatri, what are you talking about? You know how difficult it is to make money? Why? Because my truth does not align with your truth. So create your truth, which is easy for you to operate. Why do you have to create a truth? I have to only struggle, only then I am deserving of money. No. I am deserving of money because I exist. Not from a space of entitlement, but from a space of pure conviction and remembrance of who you truly are.
I am so inspired by your conviction, Gayatri. And how many of you see that conviction in what she has